Hello, and welcome to the Survivor's Corner. I'm Kirk.
And I'm Jetwire. And today we also have a very special guest joining us, which is Rand. Welcome, Rand.
Hello, thank you.
Rand, it is
And
amazing to have you on with us. You
yeah.
are kind of a legend in the community with being a long dark streamer for such a long time,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. But I know Jetwire. We need to say hello to Chad. I got ahead of you.
Yeah, there's so many people here. So hello, Elijah, Pickle Lil, Sun on Wave, Castle, Ease, Sasomi, I think, Josh, Volcano. I think I already said Castle, but if not, hello, Castle. Grape Nut, Toasty Bits, The Long Bark. Oh gosh, gotta scroll down. Rhino, Zach, hey Zach, and Faye, and Sam, Samarito? Sam,
Yeah, we're gonna
Sam.
butcher that
We're
one.
just gonna say Sam. Yeah. Welcome, and thank you all so very much for joining us.
So, Rand, you've come here to share some of your wisdom and time
Yes.
of all the streaming you've done and all the time you spent in the long dark. So, can you, for some of the people that don't know you from the Twitch world, why don't you tell everybody kind of like what got you started, why the long dark, all that kind of stuff, just to summarize here to some of the people that may not know you.
Sure, I could do that. So, been streaming the Long Dark since I started streaming. I first started streaming because of some young guys I was working with and was playing video games with, and they were live streaming on Twitch. And people would come into their chats and want to see the other's perspective. And that's why they made me, basically made me. I didn't want to at first. But yeah, they got me to start streaming, and I just loved it. I started meeting people, and I started streaming the Long Dark just one morning because I was bored. I got up early and I was bored, and I was like, well, I want to play Long Dark, but I want to chat with people. So I live streamed it, and then it turned into this.
That's
And
great.
I
And
love
then
it.
how long have you been doing this?
According to Twitch, I made my account 6 years, and I think we're on 4 months ago. Don't not maybe I could be off by a month or two, but something like that. So I made my Twitch account basically to start streaming, and so I've been streaming since I made my Twitch. So we're gonna go going on 7 years now.
Wow.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I love it so much. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
it's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, the community is amazing too. Everyone's just so friendly, and it's just
Absolutely.
so nice to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I've been saying, and I still hold to the fact that the Long Dark community is the best community on Twitch. I've been so lucky just because I've been streaming and I've had so many hours live to the world and had hardly no bad people come in and have to be removed from my chat. I can count on one hand the amount of people that have come in and not been nice and had to be
Wow.
removed. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think you'd get that with any other game.
No, I don't know. I can't see it. But
Yeah.
hey, yeah, it's just a beautiful community.
Yeah, I can't even think of how many times I've ever seen that, even just watching other streamers.
Mm-hmm.
When they're doing the long dark, and that's the primary focus. To have somebody come in and troll is such a rarity. So it's almost, when it happens, it's almost, you're like in shock. So I can't even think the last time I'd seen it happen. But yeah, that's a great to know that you've done it this long and you've had such a positive experience throughout all these years.
Absolutely. So we did have a topic picked out today, which was the long dark versus the real life. So, I mean, I understand, Rand, you had some camping stories for us to kind of compare to the long dark.
Yes, actually, I've had my fair share of camping. Uh, growing up in northern Ontario here has been, this is the land of 1,000 lakes, they call it, eh? And there's just so many places to go. My family was huge into camping, and every summer we got out of school for the summer holidays, we go to some camp, and or even a lot of times in a in the bush in tents, just at some random lake somewhere. And so, yeah, started really early, knew how to make our fires and how to take care of the camp. And the way, so to compare it to the long dark is kind of hard because winter camping and summer camping are completely different. You
Hmm.
could you could know a lot about summer camping, but not survive in a winter campsite, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of differences between the two. And so the long dark gets a lot of it right, but they also get a lot of it wrong. It's not as easy,
Hmm.
honestly, as it is. It's not as easy as it is in the long dark in real life. It's way more
Hmm.
dangerous in real life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, just because I'm curious, what are some things that come to mind that you feel like they get like really wrong?
One of the things is sleeping outside. If you have to sleep outside, it doesn't matter how hot your fire is. If you don't have many layers on top of you, you're not gonna
Wake
survive.
up.
Like you
Yeah.
can't just, yeah, you can't just light a fire and sleep on the snow right
Hmm.
there beside the fire because it would never be. And also, if you want to camp outside, you need some shelter, obviously, and you won't just go to sleep and sleep for 10 hours.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, you're sleeping by a fire, you're counting on your fire to stay warm. You're setting your watch or your clock or your alarm of some kind for every 3 to 4 hours. You got to get up, restock your fire, make sure everything's good, and then
Hmm.
you go back to sleep again.
Well, that's interesting. So, do you think like snow shelters then are more realistic?
Yeah, in real life, snow shelters are quite realistic because the snow is an amazing insulator.
Uh-huh.
If you could dig down into the snow, like you don't want to dig a hole because then you're going to cave in on yourself.
Hmm.
You want to, that's why they build the igloos. They make the squares so that the snow can pack and it can hold itself up. But as far as just trying to dig a hole in the snow and
Hmm.
sleep in it, yeah, you're risking it caving in on you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, building a snow shelter, something just to keep the snow from caving in on you, and then dug out underneath, and then getting inside some of that would be a lot warmer than you'd think. It's all in layers.
Yeah.
It's that thing where
Very
it
interesting.
sounds counterintuitive to actually, make a shelter in the snow, the thing that's actually cold.
Yes, but it does work. If you got the layers between you, the insulation of the snow between you and the outside makes a big difference. So
Now, I
you'd
know one.
want to
Go ahead.
go ahead. You'd want to sorry, you'd want to gather enough wood to get you through the night, but you're not going to build all that wood on one stack of your fire
Hmm.
and think it's going to last all night long because no, that's why you gather that much wood like you do in the long dark. You gather enough wood to make sure you got enough to get through that 10 hours, and then you put that much wood on the fire to last 10 hours. You can't do that. You put enough wood to last hopefully 4 hours, and then you sleep for three. You get up, you
Hmm.
put another 4 hours worth of wood, you sleep for three. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Anything else that you can think of that is like very, very wrong?
yes, I've always said that the fact that you're walking through the snow, when you get into the deep snow, you're not moving because you got to break a path. So you're walking up the side of a hill in the long dark, you're walking on top of the snow. It's like you're walking on top of the snow all the time in the long
Hmm.
dark. Where in real life, you don't walk on top of the snow. You're up to your waist, sometimes the bottom of your chest in the snow, and you gotta dig. It is a lot harder to move through deep snow than they make it out to be in the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Mm. Snowshoes, yes. Wookie, Soviet Wookie. Hi. Deep snow is a good call for snowshoes. That's one thing they should logically put into the game, because it's like you have snowshoes all the time when you're walking around in the game. It's like you have snowshoes all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that may be just one of the limitations from, the early part of the game and what the game is allowed to do. But yeah, it would be neat to see if they can implement something like that in the Black Frost iteration of Long Dark, where there's a little more difficulty in moving around in that aspect, where crafting snowshoes and things like that become important.
Yes, I agree.
Now I have a question that comes from a lack of knowing because of where I live. Don't have to deal with the snow and what have you. I always hear a lot of the people when I'm watching like TV shows and that say one of the biggest killers is when you start to sweat, which is another thing
Yes.
that Long Dark doesn't talk about. So the- I don't have any experience with that, but it's like from what I understand, it's if you start to sweat, that can cause problems for you. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's where, like I was saying about layers, comes into effect. If you got to be out and working in the snow, you want those layers on to keep you warm. But as soon as you start working and warming up, you start taking layers off. You try and keep your body at the temperature so you don't sweat, because once you get the sweat on your body, it cools your skin, and then once you stop working, it'll cause chills, and chills is the beginnings of hypothermia, right?
So yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I follow you on that.
So
Yeah.
it's easy to prevent if you, like I say, have the layers. You start working, you take your layers off, and you get down, as even if you're down to just a sweater. I've done it in cold weather myself, where I've been right down to just my long sleeve sweater, and that's it, because I was working and I knew I didn't want to sweat and be all wet to hunker down.
So does it become kind of an equilibrium with the layers where you're adding and taking away to try to keep your body temperature at a certain spot where you're not sweating and you're not cold?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So one of the comments here, sun on the wave. In the winter, I shovel snow up against the sides of my house. It helps insulate from the wind.
Yes, I used to do that when we lived in the trailer. We used to have to do that when I lived in a mobile trailer. We had to shovel the snow all up on the sides to insulate the bottom of the trailer from the cold.
Yeah, to keep your pipes safe, right?
That too.
Yep. So
And
kind
then
of still going on the what's wrong kind of side. So do you like where you are in Canada, have you ever had to deal with like the kind of wildlife that we see in game as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Bears and
that yes says
moose.
a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, bears and moose, and even people that have been around them a little bit don't have enough respect for a moose. They are a dangerous animal. They don't look dangerous, but they definitely are. You want to keep your distance, and you want to be very careful. I've walked them. I've walked up on them more than once and froze and waited to see what they were going to do. Every time they've turned and walked or ran away from me. But yeah, It's very dangerous. And you see bears every once in a while. When I was a kid growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, we had a lot of black bears used to come around and hang out in the backyard. And my dad,
Mhm.
we were always really careful where we put the garbage. The garbage had to be locked up, and you didn't leave food or anything outside ever because it would attract bears.
Mhm.
And yeah, we got rabbits too. We got a few rabbits. And what else? Partridge. Definitely, we have a ptarmigan. Ugh, I don't even know. After all these years, I've always called them partridge.
Mhm.
Ptarmigans.
Ptarmigan. Ah, I don't even know that word. But yeah, we've got those. And what else is there in the long dark? Oh, wolves. I've seen maybe one or two wolves in my whole life.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never seen wolves, but I know people who have in different places.
Mhm.
But around where I was and where I've lived and where I used to go camping, very rarely wolves. Bears were constant enough that when we went fishing, we'd hike a mile, 2 miles through the woods to a lake, fish the
Mhm.
lake, and then when you're hiking out, you had all your good fish in a bag, and you had one fish head or something handy in your pocket or something close by, just in case the bears came after you. You could drop one
Oh
thing
my.
for the bear and then go. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So it sounds like the moose then in game is probably pretty accurate, or at
Yes,
least accurate enough.
I would say so. Yes.
Temperamental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unpredictable. Temperamental.
And between a moose and a car, the moose is going to win every time.
Oh yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had
That's a
that
big.
experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we have white-tailed deer where I am, and I've seen the damage they do to a car. They like total it. So, and that's a much smaller animal, so I can't even imagine hitting a moose. That's like hitting a full-grown cow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was gonna say I know I've seen that with a cow or a horse, but yeah, probably
yeah.
the same type of damage.
Mm-hmm.
I hit a deer once too. 3 o'clock in the morning. I was going. My my son's mother was 10 months pregnant, sleeping beside me on the seat in the car, and we were coming back from Alberta to Ontario, and I hit a deer about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Oh
it was not
gosh.
fun.
Yeah,
Never
that
got
sounds
hurt.
like a light one.
So Rand, I don't know if you missed it, but Zach was saying this sounds awesome, and he can't stay, but he will listen later.
Zach, thank you, my friend. I love you, buddy.
Thank you.
Zach is awesome. He's done so much for me and to help me and for my channel, and I just he's an awesome person. I can never ever thank him enough for what he's done for me.
Oh, he's done so much for the community as a whole. I mean, same thing with
Hmm.
myself. He's done a lot
Yeah.
for us. He was our very first guest on when we started doing this with guests. He was our
Yep.
very first guest. So I mean, he's definitely a very giving and pillar in the community, as so to speak.
Yep.
Sets the bar for the rest of us for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I guess Rand, so I guess the question is now, what are some things that they get right that you feel are like on the money or at least close enough?
Um, a lot of the way the ice works, and the ice physics,
Hmm.
and how it cracks. Because I've been on ice that was cracking. You hear it crack. That's what it does. It's like they do. I think that's really neat when they the latest update that changed the sound of the ice,
Hmm.
made it very, very realistic, in my opinion. I think they did a really good job on that. And I don't know. That's a good question. What did they get right? Like the feeling, which is huge. Like the ambience and the feeling you get of being out in the cold and in the wilderness.
Hmm.
I think the Hinterlands nailed it on that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sun on the Waves is saying, I like the sense of isolation and the sounds are super good. So yeah, the
Yeah.
ambient sounds and the wind and all that are definitely one of the pluses as far as them getting that isolation right, I think.
Yes, I agree too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So I wish there was a few more animals because I know like at night, like they have like fox tracks and like fox calls and things like that. So I wish you could just see them from time to time. But it's still cool that they're there from like an ambient standpoint as
Hmm.
well.
And the different birds you hear too that aren't
Hmm.
actually you never see, but you got some of the sounds of the different birds that are you hear.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
always hear owls and you never see them at all. You know, and I know they're nocturnal, but you know, we do hang out at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And owls are something that really breaks the silence too. A lot of times you won't hear nothing for an hour and then you'll hear an owl start to talk and will go on for a while.
Kind of break the silence, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Or been
Castle's asking about the cute kitty cat. Is what about the cute kitty cat is right? Nothing, Castle. Nothing's right about it. The mountain lion, cougar, whatever you want to call it, is broken 6 ways to Sunday.
You know, you want to hear something really funny? For years, people have asked me what animal I would put into the long dark if I could put a new animal in, and my answer was always a cat, and I would think a lynx. I've seen lynx, and that's the most common winter cat in my mind. I always thought of cougars as Arizona, like desert animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I never thought of
we have a
cougars.
log. We have quite a few of them here.
Yeah,
We
so
call them mountain lions, but yeah, we get a lot of cougar
I
here.
never thought of them as a winter animal, but after they put them in and they started talking about that's what they were going to put in, I looked it up and there are a lot of cougars up here. And I never knew that. I've never seen one.
I think that's the immersion breaking part of it is the fact that uh, they're too vocal, they're too visible. I kind
Yeah.
of like the way they did the first iteration of it where it was kind of silent. I know people wanted to hunt it, but it should be stealthy. You shouldn't hear it. It wants to attack you from behind. And so, yeah, you know, that was one of the things like when my son and I were doing a lot of hiking in the desert and stuff, we were always, you know, cognizant of keeping some separation between the two of us so that if, God forbid, something happened, somebody be able to do something about it. Of course, I think our worst fear more than anything else, I mean, because we've got rattlesnakes and all kinds of nonsense, javelina and everything, is our biggest worry was the what, for the lack of a better term, the killer bees, because it's the one thing you can't run from, you can't defend yourself against.
Wow. Jeez.
Really? No kidding. That's interesting.
Yeah, of all the things you can walk around in the desert and be afraid of. I mean, a rattlesnake will let you know where it's at, usually, you know, and if you stay on established paths, then generally you're pretty safe. You know, the mountain lion thing is always an issue, and that javelina are probably much more worrisome than the mountain lions are. They're much more aggressive and that. But yeah, I mean, where do you run when you're in the middle of the desert or whatever, and you're on a hike in the mountains? You can't run away from the bees. There's nowhere
Yeah,
to
and
go.
water. You need a lake, right? That's
Yeah,
basically the only way to get away
and that
from
doesn't exist out here. There's nowhere to run.
them. No kidding. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have
So
thought that.
yeah, the javelina are wild boars, right? Wild pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're a little smaller and much. They're like a small dog. They're very aggressive.
I've
Oh
heard
my
that.
gosh.
They have big
No,
pig aspirations.
no, by all through the years, the only real fear I had of any animal was a bear. I never. That's the only thing I was worried about when I was all through the years and camping in the woods and hiking in the woods and going for miles and miles just to find a lake up in the middle of nowhere that nobody's fished at before.
Hmm. Yeah, but it also sounds like you had like a lot of tactics to like, distract it so you could get away as well. Just talking about like the fish tactic, like I hadn't even thought about that, but that's a really good one.
Yeah, I was raised. That's what I was taught as a very young child because camping was so big in my family.
Hmm.
Everybody went camping all the time. Some of
And I
my
want to
fondest memories.
go ahead.
No, it's just some of my fondest memories were of camp and camping.
Just wanted to say hi to some of the newcomers here. We got Volcano and we got Nocturnal Druid. Hello, Druid. Welcome in.
Welcome.
And Volcano actually says Rand's never heard or seen one of you know in your years of camping, which I think he's talking about the
Cougar.
cougar.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hinterland needs to take notes. Yeah, that whole thing of that cat just screaming in the background and being vocal and all that stuff is just so
yes,
not realistic at all.
for
Yeah.
sure. That's a little bit immersion breaking, eh? But you got
Yeah,
to kind of draw, like, you got to walk a fine line between realistic and entertaining, right?
Yeah, that's also true.
and that kind of falls into what you were talking about with the snowshoes.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, realistically you'd be hip deep in the snow, but
Yes,
is that going to be fun to play? It's a game that already has a ton of walking in it to be essentially burdened, like you were carrying, double your normal weight. When you get that slow, everybody complains about it. So that's kind of what it would be like, I would assume.
for sure. Worse, Eve, if not worse.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rand, you said you had a story for us about why you grew your beard out. Did you want to share that?
Sure, I've shared it many times. It's one of my favorite stories I talk about on my stream when people comment about my beard, and I don't want to sound conceited or anything, but majestic is a word I
Mhm.
get a lot. But yeah, no, the whole thing started. I'll go back to when I first moved in with my parents again. They were getting old and having trouble taking care of the house and the property. So I moved in and helped them take care of things and took care of them. And then after my dad died, my mom didn't want to keep the house, keep taking care of it. So she decided to sell it and go into a home. That was her
Mhm.
own choice. And so she did, went into a home. Amazing people. Like, I can't sing their praises enough. They were so good to her, and all the people in the home were good. And I was always really close to my mom, so I spent a lot of time there. I got to know the nurses and the orderlies and everybody there, and all the people. They were so well treated, and 99% of the residents were even happy. They enjoyed it there. And as my mother did, she was always a social butterfly, and she
Mhm.
loved people and was so easy to get along with and such a nice person, and she thrived in that place. Everybody loved her, and she got onto the residence council where they helped they would do fundraisers to raise money to buy things for the residents like movies and take them on field trips and things like that. And so she started wanting to do, because she was a chef, so she started to want to do dinners at the home because there was a little kitchen there. It was about the size of a large house kitchen and had a nice stove and fridge and counters and silverware, all the utensils you needed. So she started making meals. And the people from the home, the residents and the employees started coming and paying $5 to have a meal. And it would all go to the residents fund, eh? So as she got kind of not able to do it as much, I started to help her with it more often, right to the point where at the near the end there, I was doing everything. She'd just come and sit down and kind of instruct me a little bit every now and again, and I'd do everything. And every year they had an Alzheimer's week where they would try and raise money for Alzheimer's. It was a big fundraising thing. And every year of that week, one person would volunteer to have their head shaved. And everybody would come and pay $5 and take the razor and take a shave off the person's head. So they asked me one year to do it because my hair had been getting a little bit long. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I let him shave my head, and it went really well. And then the next year, somebody else did it. And then the next year, it was getting set up to do it again for them. And I had started live streaming by then. This was just after I started live streaming. It was probably within the first year of my live streaming career. And I told my viewers about it, and they were like, "Oh, we want to donate. We want to chip in on this." So I did it on a live stream, and people donated money. Ended up with almost $500, I think, on that one. For
Wow.
I had a link in my description that went right to the Alzheimer's site, so people could donate straight into it, and it went really well, and it was so good that. At the end of this one, which was I live streamed, by the way, too, there was a video of it. I still have a video somewhere if I can find it. But the lady that was doing it, she was the head of the building that my mom lived in. And she was the one that was doing most of the razor thing for my hair and my beard on that one. And she kind of half jokingly, half not jokingly said, start saving up for next year. And that was 2018. And then 2019 hit, and COVID and all the lockdown and everything happened. They didn't have the Alzheimer's week, and then everything was shut down for so many years. So a couple years later, my mom ended up dying in the home, and I never went back to do it again, and I haven't shaved or cut my hair since then. So I started growing it to do that, and ever since then, I've had it.
Wow.
So you were saving up to do this charity event, and it just kind of became a thing.
Exactly. And now this is what people love to see. I think a lot of people, this is me now. It's kind of my image. So.
Mhm.
Well, now I've seen a video that you did for Zach where you kind of read out the thing of doing the thing for Methuselah. I can't say that word. And that's kind of why I picked that for the thumbnail for this, is because of the relationship of seeing that video you did for him to do that little intro piece for that character, because you do bear a slight resemblance to that. So I thought that would be kind of cute and everything. But yeah, I can see where that happens with the way your beard and your hair and everything are.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. I would love to do that kind of thing more too. Like that got me to do that, and it kind of opened a bit of a world for me. I've thought a lot about it, and I would love to do it.
Yes,
we
we're
might have
wandering
somebody.
firekeeper.
I was going to say we might have to introduce to you somebody that is looking for voice.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to. I'm all in.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that was on here 2 weeks ago, and you may have listened to it or not. That gentleman by the name of Wandering Firekeeper, and he's doing actual like role-playing style videos where he's playing a different character within the Long Dark and telling that character's story. And he does like a narrated script while he's walking around in the game, and it's very unique. And he's actually been looking to expand upon that and get other voices involved with it, so it kind of fleshes out the story. So he might have some use of you.
No, I heard you talking about that in some of your videos that I've been watching, and I think that's really cool. I would love to get in on that for sure. You feel free to give them my information.
Awesome.
Yeah, Yeah, we definitely Jitwire and I are definitely on that creative end. I mean, that's kind of where
Hmm.
we got started. So, yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely are very into that. In fact, we've got all kinds of nonsense in the background that we haven't finished that we need to work on and everything. But a lot of that has to do with voice work and everything. And Toasty just said right here, I'm also looking for voices for a project in the near future, which we know about and it's going to be really cool and stuff.
Hmm.
So Toasty might be reaching out for you as well. Yeah, we're always looking for different voices, and you have a very unique voice in the community as well. So,
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, Toasty, absolutely. I'd love to, for sure.
Just underlines, I mean, again, like I don't mean to gush about the community so often, but I mean, everyone's just so willing to help one another with their projects, and it's more like a collaborative rather than competition based, which I think it is a lot of other games. Like the creators are competing against each other, and we're just all here helping one another. And it's great.
Yeah, you gush away. Gush away. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
I think a lot of us know better to put our egos aside,
Hmm.
and that, and I, and not to even, again, gush over anything, but I can take the relationship that Jitwire and I have with this show and how we met and everything. I'd been doing the video thing for a year and a half and had probably close to 375 subscribers and what have you. And I started going to her channel, and she is just getting started. And, you know, she just made some really nice, wonderfully produced little essays that blew up. And she got
Yeah.
some help from Zach and everything. Next thing I know, she's, over 2,000 subscribers, and I hadn't changed all that much. I think I might have hit 400. But that idea of, not being afraid to go to somebody who's only got a few subscribers and then having them blow up and go past you, there's still
Hmm.
no ego between the two of us. I'm not jealous of the fact that she's done it. I'm proud of her. She's done a
Yeah.
great job. Same way with a lot of the other people that, that are around us in the deal. If you find success in this, it's great.
Yeah.
There's no shame in propping up somebody. If I never reach 1,000 subscribers, I won't be disappointed about anything because I know that what I have done in the community will outlast anything I've ever done with subscribers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love to hear you say that.
So the
Yeah.
same thing with the people on Twitch and stuff. You may not have an audience of several thousand, but the people that do come to see you, you become an important part of their routine, part of their lives. They look forward to you being on, and kind of what started us asking you to be here was kind of a question from Zach of he hadn't heard from you and he was concerned, and it
Hmm.
kind of lit this fire here. So this is, wanting to talk to you was part of that, is to, get everybody to introduce everybody to everybody else too. A lot of times
Yeah.
people are streaming or they're doing their videos and they may not realize other people exist. There is a
Hmm.
whole community on Twitch, and for those of you that are watching YouTube more than anything, there's a huge community on Twitch of wonderful content creators that we definitely want to get more of them on and more of them involved in doing this, because our mission here is to make this a very community oriented podcast.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I really like the sound of that. That's how I feel too. A lot of it, and it's so much of the negativity out there in so many different circles, and so many people seem to be so entertained by it, and I don't understand it. I love the people that I associate with, and you were saying how much you come to mean to the people that do come to view you and hang out in your stream all the time, and it goes the other way too. Those people have come to mean so much to me, and I never would have expected it, but I miss the people when I can't stream. If I'm not streaming for any reason for any amount of time, I don't. I miss the game, of course, but I miss the people more than anything.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, I feel like that about my comment section too. Like, I'm not like interacting with people live or anything, but then there's people, that comment on every one of my videos. And if I don't see someone for a while, I'm like, what happened? Are they okay? And it almost kind of stinks because I don't know how to reach out to them and be like, are you all right? What's going on? Not saying you got to watch my videos, but it's nice, just to hear from you.
Yeah,
So,
exactly the same. I've had the exact same thing. Yes.
Now, Sun on Waves is saying he discovered Twitch by looking up Rand from one of Zach's videos, and yeah, and Zach is really good about, saying, "Hey, go look up these people" and all that stuff. And I try to do that even in my own videos, and like I use a lot of vernacular from D.H. Dunn because I love his sense of humor in that. So I catch myself calling some of the silly things he calls like Camp HQ and things of like, he uses some of that vernacular. I catch myself doing it just to pay homage to the fact that I find that creative and funny. So, and I give him credit once in a while. I'll say trademark DH Dunn or something along that lines, or I'll bring up something Jetwire's done, or I just recently was recording something and I mentioned Toasty talking about the thing that we were talking about last week with the lanterns and stuff. So I'm not afraid to talk about other people in my own recordings because they're part of the family, they're part of the community, and it's beautiful. So, and then Miss Cam said something very nice. She said she thinks the Survivor's Corner has really brought this part of the community closer and made it grow. And I can't say thank you enough, ma'am.
yeah, thank you.
And
Oh,
we're
I
hoping
love
to
it.
continue to grow. We really what we're hoping is that kind of I'm going to use a very bad analogy, but I'm hoping like a virus or a bacteria, we're going to spread slowly, and people are going to be more susceptible to our charms and that. Because, like I said, we want to get more and more people. I want to reach out to Bassrobe. I want to reach out to Athenon and Thomasina and and other
Yeah.
people, Trooper Barry, and there's other people that are on YouTube that we've got lined up and want to reach out to. So this is all about having the community come on here. So it's not just Jitwire and I's voice. This is
Mhm.
also to showcase the other people. And so having someone like Rand who's been around for a very long time and he's streamed, he's seen streamers come and go and what have you. So it's just wonderful, being able to talk to you. I can remember my first years of getting into streaming and stuff, and you were a staple along with a few other people, and Long Dark Forever and Wands and all that stuff. I would pop in to all your guys' streams whenever I had time.
Yeah, great people all, and I wish nothing but the best for this channel, for the Survivors Corner, and you guys, man. I love it. I've only really dug into it in the last couple of weeks here, but I love it, and I'm looking forward to more.
Thank you. Thank you.
Better,
That means a lot.
better late than never.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and Faye was asking, has Thomasina stopped creating videos? I thought she had just slowed down, or is she taking a break, or...
Yeah, I think I checked her channel. I hadn't seen anything posted for quite some time, so we'd have to reach out to her. I think Zach would be my best, easiest way to reach out. I think he has some more backdoor channels to get a hold of her. But and obviously if she's not streaming or what have you, and she doesn't want to do it, I completely understand. We have been
Yeah.
extremely lucky, like we talked about the other day. No one has said no. But then again, people do, they do get away from this. I mean, yeah, haven't seen Wands in a while. Yeah, I'm in his Discord, and I haven't seen him even post in his Discord for a while. And I would love to have him on, but people, I know he quit because he had a baby, and they get to where they don't have time, and I get that. I understand that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Gray Bear, greetings, fellow survivors, all is well with me. Well, that's great to hear. Thank you for checking in. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I don't know, you get to know all the people that like watch your videos and come into chat and everything, and then you don't see them for a while and you're like, are you okay? Like, you don't have to stay. Just come in and let us know you're all right.
Absolutely. I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of like this morning. I saw that you were streaming, and I popped in just to kind of say hi and talk to you a little bit. And you had a handful of people coming in, and just to listen to you talk to them was just a joy because it was like like they're like long lost friends that have popped in, and just the way you're asking questions, you get to know people's lives and everything. So it's always interesting to go to somebody's stream that you may not have visited in a while and listen to them talk to their chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love my people. I really do.
Yeah. And Aaron is saying he thinks they think Thomasina is busy with her day job. If that's the case, good. Just said
Yeah.
we got to check in on each other.
And
Yeah, a lot
everybody's
of
allowed to
people.
have a day job. you know?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much actual live stream takes out of you. You guys know it really takes a lot out of you. After you're done a live stream, you're worn out. You don't expect to be, and it's not like you're doing anything really exertive, but it takes a lot out of you, right?
It's a mental drain.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a bit easier because it's like I'm not also playing a game and I'm not constantly, like switching tasks, like play game, think about what I'm doing in game, look at chat, think of a response, talk. So I think this is a little easier because you're doing one thing. But yeah, I get it with the game as well. Makes it a bit harder.
And Saisami was saying Wands has a baby. Yeah, that was a thing I heard about. I'm going to say that's been 18 months or longer ago when I heard him talk about that in his stream, that he had a kid. And I know that had changed his life, and he kept that very private, which, hey, kudos to him by all means. There's no reason why you need to let every crumb out of your bread, thing to
Yeah.
everybody. So Nocturnal Druid saying, I wish I could catch up more of the RAM, but you're streaming while I'm asleep, and he chuckles. So yeah, and that's one of my biggest problems is Rand does very early, and so it's sometimes hard for me to catch him because I'm either at work or I'm not up yet.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. My streaming time is different from most people's streaming, and that's one of the reasons I think why I haven't really, progressed past that point. Is because I'm not on when all the people are looking for somebody to watch. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I love that people get up in the morning and get their coffee and then sit around and have their coffee, getting ready for work and hang out and say hi and while they're getting ready for work, and then that.
And
I'm okay
Twitch
with
is
that.
24/7. You've always got a certain number of time zones that are working to you regardless of when you stream. It's just
That's right.
just depends
For
on where your
sure.
audience is coming from. I mean, it's like us doing the podcast. The time that we picked, it's to be friendly to both the U.S. and Europe, but we ignore the other part of the world. We got a lot of people from like New Zealand and Australia who are also deal. So that's why I was thinking it might be nice to do like a later night one to kind of catch the other part of the world in that aspect. So
For sure. And me too. I'd love to stream at night, but I don't know. I don't feel it. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like streaming at night. I don't mind being on other people's streams, playing games with other people that are streaming. But as far as me to go live and stream at night, it's just it's not in me.
okay, we got a
But
question from Faye. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Brand. Finish your point.
One more thing. Just wanted to say this. I don't mind doing at night. So if you wanted to do this kind of thing at night, I'd be in. Just to play the game and live stream by myself is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, that's cool. I'll keep you on the short list if we decide to do something.
Yep.
Do an evening thing. I would love it.
Absolutely.
Me too.
So Faye's saying is there one thing that Rand would like to add to TLD? And then Toasty seconded the question. So we're going to put you on the spot. What would you like to add to the TLD universe?
I haven't had that question in a long time, actually, but it's an excellent question. You know, I want a snow machine. I want a snow machine. A skidoo.
That's great.
So like a snowmobile? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, one that you
Okay.
restrict it. Like just it wouldn't be able to go a lot of places. It wouldn't be able to go up a lot of the hills. It wouldn't be able to go from zone to zone. Really, wouldn't be able to cross the trestle. There's a lot of places it couldn't go. But yeah, just to
Yeah.
have one restricted, even if you just put it in the airport and that's it. Don't put it anywhere else.
Yeah, the airport or like Pleasant Valley or something, one of the bigger maps, so you could just.
Yeah,
Yep.
for
That's
sure.
funny. I was actually talking about the subject in one of the recordings I just did the last couple days, and I made the argument for what vehicle would be the best suited for the long dark, and I actually was thinking more along the lines of a trail bike. You know, like almost not so much a dirt bike, but more of a trail bike because of the areas and the narrows and being able to haul it over things and stuff. You know, like a small trail bike would probably be a lot more user friendly in areas. You'd be able to drag it over stumps and things like that. But
Yeah.
that would be an interesting thing.
Really hard to pedal through the snow. I got
Yeah.
my bike's an e-bike and it's got big fat tires on it. So with electrical help, I ride it all winter long. I ride it in the snow. But with a regular bike, no.
And okay, and let me clarify. When I'm talking about a trail bike, I'm talking about like a like a Honda or Yamaha, like a dirt bike.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of make
Yeah.
it's like a trail bike is kind of a go between where it can go off road, but it's also capable on regular surfaces and stuff. So and
Yeah.
you can
No,
get them
that
where
makes
they're pretty.
complete sense.
Yeah, you can get them where they're pretty small horsepower, which I think would probably do better than a bigger bike. You'd want something small. Gary's
Yeah,
saying, what about improvised snow skis or trekking poles, getting out of harm's way? I could see that with ice skates might be an interesting thing in some of the areas.
Would be interesting.
Or like
Yeah,
Skate
cross.
around.
Go
yeah.
ahead,
Someone was
Jabbar.
also mentioning large animal traps, and I think that would be cool too. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they break like pretty quickly or something like that, but that would be cool.
Something you have to forge and something that
Mhm.
like works twice. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
And you have to bait it. Who knows?
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
a good Black Frost one.
Yeah.
That's probably something. Toasty's saying a portable sled that you could deploy and go down steep hills would also be cool. And that would be fun.
Yeah. Ride down the summit. Woo!
It's not the fall that kills you; it's a sudden stop at the end.
Yeah, right.
I saw a bear trap in there.
Yeah, flash bombs, compound bows, candles. You guys all want all sorts of stuff.
Well, if we're going to talk that, I want a bazooka.
Then you won't miss those partridge, eh? Or those
Nope.
ptarmigans.
That's what the hand grenades are for.
Yeah.
For the partridges.
Does it
Actually,
work on
What?
the little clusters of ptarmigans?
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried the noisemakers. That would be interesting.
Yeah, does anyone know? Like, can
They
you throw a
do.
noisemaker and kill 4 ptarmigans?
That's a
I
good
wouldn't be
test.
surprised. Yeah, I
That's a
would.
good
I
test.
think you would.
I might have to try that now.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good question. I was just gonna say I'm surprised, with the fact that like in Stalker and that you have guns, there's no shotguns. Even if it was like a single shot or a double barrel type shotgun, even if it was a 410 gauge shotgun, something small. I'm surprised you don't have shotguns in the game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we have Toasty and Eugene have said you can, but it destroys them and makes them unharvestable,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a shame.
Okay.
I guess that would be the same if I shot a bazooka at a rabbit. I wouldn't expect it to have much left.
Yeah, right. Right. And the long bark, how about a boat you could sail it in between coastal regions? I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be like an acceptable form of fast travel for me too, for the game.
It would be neat if you could do that like between coastal to Bleak Inlet because those two are
Yeah.
kind of connected and instead of and make it a risk thing, it's like okay, you're going to get the
Yeah.
roll of the dice. You got a 60% chance of making it.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. Or have like a random event, maybe like your boat capsized, so whenever you get there, you have hypothermia or something
Yeah,
like that.
that
That'd
whole
be
that
interesting.
that whole sequence of like when you do cheat death and it's black and white and you're freezing, you're like, how did I get here? And you're on the, you're at desolation point for some reason.
Yeah.
I love boats. That would be really neat. And if it was just like a regular little boat with a motor, like an outboard,
Yeah,
that would be
well, it
so
would probably
much
have to be a
fun.
sailboat because nothing mechanical is working. I mean, that's why the snow machines and the dirt bikes are all, wish list stuff. But if we're going with the theme of the game, that nothing, electrical is working, then it would probably have to be
But
some kind of a rowboat, sailboat. But
okay, if you want to get on that topic, then why do the lights come on?
through the Aurora.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So why can't?
you probably could do that through an Aurora. That would make
Yeah.
that a neat event for the Aurora.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can use your boat.
Or your snow machine.
Yeah. Yeah, making it an Aurora vehicle. That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It would be safe too if you're flying around Aurora. You won't have to worry about the Aurora wolves.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool addition to Black Frost, especially if the map is much bigger. Maybe you have like Aurora vehicles or something.
For
That'd be
sure.
interesting.
Do
Well,
we
and
know anything about that?
That's one of the things too
Yeah.
that I'm hoping Black Frost will introduce to us too is other forms of mechanical energy because you would think that after a while somebody's going to say, okay, we've got to kind of turn back the clock and we're going to have to use steam power and we're going to have to use,
Coal or
coal and things like that.
Mhm.
Old diesel tractors had no electronics to burn out. Once you got them fired up, they pretty much ran on their own. So, things like that, if you could get some of those old machines, you might find, that they would work. Now, granted, diesel would be, a finite resource to whatever you could find, but steam power would be easy enough. You'd end up burning a lot of resources, but steam power would be something.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting thought. Yes.
Oh, we go down rabbit holes like you would not believe, Rand.
I love it.
Like one of my favorite topics is why are there no bathrooms in Desolation Point?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
There's a guy that
excellent question.
there's a guy that keeps the lightkeeper's house. There's obviously workers at the whale factory. There's they've
Mhm.
got barracks. But where do those people use the restroom or wash up or have food or anything? So yeah, there's lots of
Yeah.
little nuances like that I look at from a 10,000-foot perspective.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I have never realized that until you just said it.
Now you're gonna think about it every time
Now,
you're
every
there.
time you go to
No.
Desolation Point, it's gonna be on your mind. You're gonna be like
Yeah.
looking. You're gonna be looking. These people had ironclad constitutions.
And also, Gwen, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And have
Thank
a
you,
good
Gwen.
one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that my Gwen?
Yep, you're
I think
Gwen.
so yeah, you're Gwen.
Bye, Gwen.
And everybody that goes to Rand's stream who took the time to come over here and listen to this, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as we're wrapping this up, I have one last question, unless Jitwire's got anything to add to that. But Toasty kind of mentioned this too. He was talking about not just what would you like to add to TLD. What would be something you'd like to see coming in Black Frost that's not in TLD?
Well, my first answer again would be Snow Machine, but that's a really good question. Well, I'm led to believe that we're going to have companions, right?
Mhm.
It's supposed to be
And
co-op of some sort, yes.
I seen one picture where a guy was sitting there playing a guitar. Now, I want the guitar. I really, really hope that's not just a picture and they really have a guitar in the game because I want one.
There is a early part of the early talks is there's supposed to be kind of like a morale meter or a mental health thing,
Mhm.
and the speculation is that the being ability to play music or the guitar is to help with that mental part of it. So that's some of the early thoughts. But what survives early access and gets into the real game will be one thing.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. I think that's awesome. I've said for a long time that reading a book or even listening to music should take care of cabin fever, help you take care of cabin
Oh,
fever.
you're going to be on
Mhm.
Toasty's #1 list there. That's one he always complains about. The absolute frustration with cabin fever, not being able to cure it through reading or keeping busy with other things. Yeah, playing the guitar would be an interesting thing.
Mhm.
Harmonica.
For sure.
Piano.
Make it a little mini game. Piano for sure. That too. Make it like a little mini game where you gotta hit certain buttons at certain times to play the guitar or play the piano or banjo. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love
and it reduces
that.
your cabin fever risk. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the better you are at it, the better it does.
yeah. I love it. I really do. I think that's an awesome idea.
That is funny.
Yep, but I guess I should wrap us up here since we are a bit after. Do you, either of you have anything to add?
I'm going to let Rand speak first, but I do have something to say just before you take
Okay.
the last. So, Rand, go ahead. I mean, plug your channel. Tell everybody how to find you. Any
Well,
final thoughts?
most know how to find me. You got that taken care of. So all I want to say is thank you guys for taking me in here and including me in this. I love it. I'm honored to be here, and I'll anytime. I'm here for you anytime, and anything I can do to help you out in any other way, I'm happy to do it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll definitely reach out if we decide to branch out and do any other podcasts here or there. We'll keep you on the list of people to bring on.
And all the people in chat, I love you guys. Thank you all so much. Son, Elijah, I know almost everybody. Very, very few many names came up that I didn't recognize, and I thank all of you for coming in.
So yeah, if you're not familiar how to find Rand, we'll have all the links in the description, and we'll pin a comment with all that stuff. And but all you need to do is go on to Twitch, and you can find him in the Long Dark deal. He's easy to find.
Yep.
Easy to find.
Yep. And I will also put a link to Rand's channel in the pinned comment that'll be on after the show as well. So if you guys need an easy way to find it, you can just go right there.
Okay, so I wanted to just say thank you very much, Rand, for taking the time to come on here. A special treat. Been watching you for so long, and being a part of the community, being so open-minded and so open-armed. We have been blessed so much with everybody's presence here and the acceptance. We appreciate you spreading the word and being a part of this. Uh, Wonderful community and helping us with the podcast. And then lastly, I'd like to say that I believe I can speak for everyone here that we hope, Jitwire, that your move goes as smooth and as stress-free as possible. and
Thank
that
you.
we will
Here,
all
here.
miss you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And I did want to say, I will be back September 6th for the next show. I'll probably be checking in on chat, but just wanted to let everyone know I'll miss you guys. And I look forward to being back on the 6th to chat with everybody.
And with this, I will let you close
Yep.
out the show.
Yep. And with that, again, Rand, I just also wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, because you have also been one of the ones that I've been watching for quite a while. So kind of flattering to have you here, quite honestly. So thank you for that.
Very welcome.
Thank you. But thank you all so very much for joining us, everyone. Whether you were able to tune in live or you're watching the recording, we really appreciate it. And we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, good Lord, I got to do a month of closing the show. I miss you already.